stood up here and said that me and my family would serve the Lord from this day forward. Let me tell you something, it's not easy. Because God has shown me, and He's been showing me every week all the different things that we should and shouldn't do. And we've talked about it every week of things that He wants us to do to strive to be the perfect person. Because that's what He wants us to strive to be. We'll never be the perfect person. I think we talked about that last week. But I've still been battling this thing of I only have just enough. I'm still battling that. I only have just enough to survive. I don't have nothing more.
Oh, in the back.
I'm like, God, what is going on? I've done everything You've asked me to do. I'm trying to do it everything the way You want me to do it, which He shows me every week. And at the first of the week, everything's good till about Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. The devil starts trying to attack me and gets a hold of me, and then I start acting in different ways. And then Dad's got to show me, hey, you need to calm down. It's the devil attacking you, and God shows me that, and I get mad. But I try to do everything the way He wants. Study, read the Bible, everything. I'm like, God, what is going on? Why are You still not blessing me? What is going on? And He showed me. I couldn't understand it. And last night I couldn't sleep. And something told me to get a pen and paper and sit down. It was after everybody went to sleep. Because you can't hear from me when there's so much noise and conflict going on and people screaming and hollering and TV's on in every room and there's no silence. You can't understand what He's talking to you because you don't know that He's talking to you because there's too much noise. You're caught up in everything else. It was after Whitney fell asleep and the kids fell asleep. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to go to sleep and I just couldn't go to sleep. I wasn't tired for some reason. It was something that just kept telling me, get up, get a piece of paper, get a pen. So I got a piece of paper and I got a pen, and He started showing me things that I've been going through, and every week I realized something else, and then I put it all together, and it starts making sense. You know, I got mad when we first started doing this church and stuff. I was like, God, why do we have to have church or something like this? Aren't You worthy enough to be praised in something beautiful? Why don't You send us money to build You something that's worthy of You being praised in? Well, He told me, He said, how much have I already gave you? How much money? You're only 26 years old. How much money have I already gave you? You made more money from the time you're 26 years old than most adults don't make in a lifetime. What have You gave to me? Nothing. Not $1 I've given Him. He gave me everything, and I haven't given Him nothing. Not one penny. He said, this is what You gave me. This is what You think I'm worth. Okay? Take that in reality. You took all the money I gave you, and you did the worldly things. You gave it all to the devil. You got, well, there's kids here, so we're not going to discuss all that stuff. You went down the wrong roads that you shouldn't have went down. You helped everybody else go down the wrong roads by spending your money to get them to follow you the opposite way. You know, so I was like, okay, I understand You. And then He also showed me, and I was like, okay, God, well, give me money again. And this was a couple weeks. He showed me that a while back. I was like, okay, God, give me money again, and I'll do what You want me to do with it. But I guess He didn't. My heart wasn't right. Really, He already knew that if He would have done that I wouldn't have done what He wanted me to do with it. And He showed me between, you know, my dad I've always been spoiled. And when we were younger, my dad would give us whatever we want. If he didn't have change, he'd give us a $100 bill, and he'd say, hey, I need my change back. Get gas, and go to the gas station, fill your truck up with gas or whatever, but make sure you bring my change back. Never brought no change back. Okay? And he started showing me that to myself, showing me that I did that to him by me having workers or other family members or something that, hey man, I need a $5 or $6 to go get a pack of cigarettes. You hand them a $10 or $20, they go to the gas station, they come back, there's no change. Hey man, you said you needed a pack of cigarettes. Oh, I need a drink, and I need this, and I got a bag of chips, and this and that. Well, that's not what you said you needed. You told me you needed a pack of cigarettes. Or they come ask you for $5 because they need to get something from the store, and you knowing that they're not going to give you no change back, but you have nothing else.
Yeah, come on.
Okay? You have nothing else but that $20 bill, and you give them that $20 bill, and they come back. You haven't trust in them this time, and you tell them, hey, don't spend no extra money than what you got. We don't have it. We got bills that are due. We can't even pay our bills. Don't spend no more than that $5. Make sure you bring the change back because we gotta have it. Come back, no change. What happened? Well, we told you not to spend no more than that $5. Well, I needed this, I needed that. I had things that I needed. Okay? That's what God shows us. I'm only going to give you what you need because I can't trust you with anything else.
Amen. Amen.
You know, so I started studying, and then my dad, you know, he always every Sunday he's like, put $1 in, and I was like, okay, God, and I've been doing this for weeks. I'm like, okay, God, well, I'm start giving something to you. And you know, Dad says, put $1 in, plant your seed, and God will bless you.
Amen.
So I started putting $1 in. No, knowing, wanting him to do something for me, you know. Okay, well, I put my $1 in there, God's gonna bless me. Weeks later, God's not blessed me with anything. I mean, he's paying my bills, but he's gonna make sure I'm taken care of no matter what. He's not blessing me more. And then I started reading more about it, and you know, it says that God is pleased with a tenth of whatever he gives you. Basically, whatever you make that week, you take a tenth of it and you give it to him, and he's pleased with that. So I started doing that. I'd be sitting here, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really have it. I could do other things with this money, but I better give God this. I made $1,000 this week. I better give him this $100, even though I don't want to. I better do it so he'll bless me. What happens? He don't bless you because come on. In Corinthians 9:6-7, it says, but this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Yeah. Every man according as his purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver.
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, I wasn't doing it in a cheerful way. I was doing it in because I had to. And I was grudged because I didn't want to give that money to him. You know, so I was like, I thought that it was I had to do it. I didn't have no choice. But you have a choice. You don't have to. And if you do it thinking that you have to do it and that he's going to reward you for it, he's still not going to reward you for it because you didn't do it with a cheerful heart.
Amen.
You didn't do it out of the loving and the careness of your heart. And so I started reading more about it, and I was like, okay, God, well, you know, you only want a tenth. You know, that's not much to ask for. But then I started reading more and more in Luke 21:1-4, and it says, and he looked up and saw the rich man casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in there 2 mites. And he said, of a truth, I say unto you, that this widow has cast in more than thy all. For all these have of their obedience cast into offerings of God. But she of her penury has cast in all the living that she had. So basically, he likes that the people gave a 10%, but the woman that didn't have much gave everything that she had to God, trusting in God and knowing that God was going to take care of her, and did it with a cheerful heart. He looked up upon her better than he looked upon the rich, because they just give what they have to give. Just enough to get by and keep the rest for themselves to do what they want. Okay? So I started looking more and I was like, okay, God, well, you like somebody that is going to give you that. Basically what that looked like me. You basically love and cherish and do more for those that will give you their all. Because our God is an all or nothing God.
Amen.
He's not a half-time, a 10% God. He's an all or nothing God. He's there for us at all times. Okay? So if you want to give your 10%, He's going to bless you in the ways that you've been blessed. That you bless Him. Basically, this is what I was talking about. You know, He's only going to give you what you have to have, because He can't trust you with no more. So then I started looking in Deuteronomy chapter 14, and it says, "Thou shalt truly tithe all thy increases of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year." Okay, so basically God's telling you right there, you should truly give all that you have to Him. And I started reading more, and I just got to get, and there's more and more chapters and more, in every single book it tells you more and more about this. And I just started reading through all of it, and I just had to write a lot of it down. I couldn't write all of it down because we'd be here for days. But you know, because if you really get to studying it and looking at it, there's a lot in there that tells you about it. And it says in Luke 8:12, it says, "I fast twice a week. I give thy of all I possesses." Basically, Luke says, I fast twice a week and I give God everything that I possess, knowing that He's going to take care of me. Amen. Basically, anything that I have, I put towards Him and doing His work and His will, and give Him everything, because He's an all or nothing God.
Amen.
And then in Genesis 14:20, it says, "And blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered thy enemies into thy hands, and He gave him tithes of all." Once again, God delivers and does stuff for you and blesses you, and you should be happy enough to give Him your all.
There you go.
You know, and then Leviticus 27:30, it says, "And all the tithes of thy land, whether of the seed of the land or of the first of the fruit of the tree in the Lord, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord." Basically right there, that's telling you everything is the Lord's.
Yeah.
It is worthy. The Lord is worthy of it. It's all His.
Amen.
Then you got it in Malachi chapter 3. It says, "Will man rob God?
Lord help.
Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, whether have we robbed thee? In tithings and offerings." Have we robbed God? Just like I said, I've robbed God. That's something I don't like, is somebody that steals from others, that robs from others, that have worked hard for what they got. But yet, look at me. I'm a robber. I'm a thief, because I have robbed God. Because everything that He's given me, I've gave Him nothing. And He says, you robbed me. "Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation." Basically, that right there, I felt like it was talking to me. I'm cursed right now, and I'm only getting what I have to survive, because I have robbed Him. I have robbed this town. I have robbed this nation Because all that money that he's gave me, millions of dollars I've blowed, I promise you, believe me, I have. I could have been doing good for him. I could have been building homeless shelters for the homeless, feeding the starving people, helping the poor. But instead, there's a chapter I read last night, but I didn't write it down. It says, when you prepare a meal, don't invite your brothers. Don't invite the rich. Don't invite your neighbors that have everything too. Invite the poor. Invite the hungry. Basically, that's telling you, I give you this. Not to give to everybody else that has, but to give to the needy, to give to the people that need your help, that need what I have given you. Then it says, bring ye all thy tithes in the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. That's basically saying, give me everything. And watch and see and know that I'm going to take care of you. And give me your all, knowing that I'm going to open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings upon you that you cannot handle. Because it's going to be so much blessings, and you're going to have so much to help so many other people that you get overwhelmed. That it's unbelievable, because you finally understood what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. I've had to make you suffer, and I've had to make you go through these things to really, truthfully make you realize what I've been telling you this whole time. You know, and that really touched me right there. And so I started reading more into it. And it's Genesis. Jacob made a vow to God. Genesis chapter 28, 20 through 22. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with him and will keep me in this way, that I go, and will give me bread to eat and a remnant to put on, say, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall the Lord be my God, and this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and that of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. That guy, Job, Jacob, he believed in God. And he said, oh God, just take care of me. Make sure I have food to eat. Make sure I have clothes on my back. But all that you give me, I'll give you a tenth of it. Which to me, what I've read and what I've been reading and the way God has showed me is that's not enough. He wants it all. He wants you to give it all to him so that he can do what he needs with it to save the world. Because let me tell you something right now, this lake right here is just getting worse and worse. I have friends that are dying left and right. This used to not happen around here. I have a friend that just died last week. Someone just walked out and shot him for no reason. And he was a good man. Good just like me. Good just like everyone else. He had a good heart. He was loving. He tried to help everybody. If somebody needed something, he was there to help them. You could call him, and he was there for you. Somebody just walked out their door and shot him in the head for no reason. Had no purpose of why he did it. He just did it. And now he's dead. The other day on 315, there was a guy walking down the road. A police officer stopped to see if he needed any help. The guy pulled a gun out on the police officer and pistol whipped him. Right here on 317. The world is getting worse. Right here on the lake, it's getting worse. So He needs us to He needs us to give Him our all, to try to turn it around, to try to show these people there's a better way to do things than to kill, steal, destroy. To show them the love that He has for us. And we have to do it. I have to do it. I'm not saying anybody else has to do it, because that's God. He'll put it on your heart to do whatever you need to do. But I know He's talking to me personally. I know He's talking to my father personally. I know He's talking to my whole family personally. That it's time for us to quit playing. It's time for us to be good stewards of what is His, of His money, because it's not ours. He giveth and He taketh away. He gave it to us to be good stewards of it, not to be doing whatever we want to do with it, but to do what He wants us to do with it. And you know, so just like the first day I stood up here and I vowed for this day forward for me and my family to live for the Lord. Today I stand in front of y'all, and I stand in front of God, and I give God my vow that anything that He gives me, I'm going to take care of my family first. Because in Timothy 5:8, he says, "Put if any provide not for his own, not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel." So God, whatever you give me, I'm going to make sure my family and my household is taken care of all their needs. And then whatever is left, I will give all to Him. I will be a good steward of whatever He gives. If it's $100, if it's $1,000, if it's $1 million, whatever is left after I take care of my family's needs will go to helping the nation, to go to helping this town, to go to helping the poor, to go to helping the hungry, the needy, the people that need help. And another thing too, it says, "Take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise ye have no rewards of your faith which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thy alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the street, in the synagogue, and in the streets, that they way have glory of man. Verily I say unto you, that they have their rewards. But when thou dost alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand is doing, that thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thy openly." Basically, that's telling you, don't tell anybody else what you're giving to God. In so many churches, they have a little envelope that you got to write your name on and tell them how much you're putting in tithes and what's going to this. You're not supposed to tell them that. That's of the devil. That's why you don't get blessed when you do that kind of stuff, because you're letting everybody know your business. You give what you want to give, what God puts on your heart, not to impress anybody else. Just like me when I had all that money, I flaunted it. Everybody knew I had money because I wanted that, because I wanted everybody to see, look what I have. Look what I do. That's not what God wants. That's a hypocrite. He wants you to be humble. It all starts with a humble beginning, just like this church. We're starting, it's humble. You know, it's not much, but guess what? He's pleased with it because we're doing it. Okay? You know, and so don't tell somebody else what you're giving. Don't write it down on a piece of paper. Like I said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing, because then God's not going to favor it. You give what you want to give, when you want to give it, and you work that out with God, and God's going to bless you as He wants to bless you. So that's what God's been dealing with me, and that's what He kept me up all night long, showing me and putting everything in perspective. That for weeks and weeks and weeks, I've had this pop in my mind and this pop in my mind, And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, he just puts it all together and made this. And then, you know, so I know what I've been doing, and I know what I have to do. And that's all I can do. And I don't know if it talked to anybody else or anything like that, but y'all know y'all's walk with God, and y'all know what y'all have to do and what God tells y'all to do. So do it. Because our God's an all or nothing God. Yeah, with a cheerful, that's what, with a cheerful heart. Because if not, you're going to get punished like I've been getting punished. He's just going to give you just enough to get by and never give you no more. Because you're expecting something in return. You know, there's another verse in the Bible somewhere, I didn't write, I think it's in Luke somewhere. It says, give to your brother whatever he asks us, but don't expect nothing in return. You know, if he offends you, if he slaps you on the cheek, turn the other cheek. You know, don't do to others what they do to you. Do good to them and show them the love and the happiness that you have, and let them realize that it's not always about the fighting and what they have to give to you. Because you're not worried about what they have to give to you, because they don't have enough to give to you. Because as long as you do for God and you do what God wants you to do and you give Him your all, He can do more for you than anybody ever will be able to do. But don't do it with oh, I have to do this because I have to. Do it lovingly, do it caringly, do it for God because He is worthy of it, and know that no one can pay what He is. No one can give us what we can't give Him what He gave to us.
Amen.
Okay? He died on the cross for our sins. He got beaten and died for us because He knew that we were heathens, that we wouldn't be able to be saved if He didn't. And we can never repay Him, no matter what we give Him. We could give Him our life and die for Him, and we still wouldn't repay Him for what He's gave us. So